I love that piano player. How are you? Good Friday to you. It's 10:31 and we're starting 31 minutes late because I wanted to go over and hear the Gaither premiere. Well, it's not really a premiere. Bill and Gloria Gaither came home one day during this pandemic and listened to 3 of their videos. I can't really remember right now what 3 they were, but they were all hymns. You know, the kind of stuff I love. And Bill, I didn't know we were conflicting our times, but he didn't either. So anyway, I got to go over there and I started late, and I'm glad you're coming in. Come on in. Many of you, I'm sure, were over there watching with us. Paula Shepard, I see you. Fran Daly. Hello, Greg Folk. Susan Norwood, good to see you. Emmy, Jerry Jenkins, Jessica Lash, all of y'all. Come on in. You know what we're going to do? Just do what we normally do. And then I'm going to bring Bill Gaither on the FaceTime until we figure out how to get him to learn how to do Skype. If he could only do Skype. I need to get that worked out. But we'll do FaceTime. Somebody asked for this song, and we're going to sing one together before we get going. Hold on, let me find it. Yes, here we are. Virginia Butler, she says she's living in Tornado Alley. Oh, she gave me a scripture. And she says, this has been my comfort many nights and so right for COVID-19. Have courage for the great sorrow of life and patience for the small. And when you have finished your daily tasks, go to sleep in peace. God is awake. Isn't that good news? Psalm 121 verse 4, that God never sleeps, he never slumbers. He knows what we're going through. And then Marlene Davis said that she would like to hear Mansion Over the Hilltop. Do you remember that one? Well, I've got a mansion. There it is. Just over the hilltop. In that bright land where we'll never grow old. Sing. And someday yonder we will never more wander, but walk on streets that are purest gold. Don't think me poor or discouraged or lonely. I'm not discouraged. I'm heaven bound. I'm just a pilgrim in search of that city. I want a mansion, a harp and a crown. Sing, I've got a mansion just over the hilltop, in that bright land where We'll never grow old, never grow old, and someday yonder we will never more wander, but walk on streets that are purest gold, purest gold. I still want to be a bass. Well, how many of you were over there watching the Gaither video this morning? I know Bill and Gloria were watching and tuned in and talking and commenting, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Paul Sizlove, what did he just say? Bill, Gloria, thank you for the great chat with your time. Thank you for your... Thank you. Well, you're welcome, Paul Sizlove. It was a pleasure, and it was fun. Oh, here's Bill. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Mark, I'm here ready.
Okay.
How do we hook it? Here's Doug.
All right.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, he doesn't have Skype, does he?
Yeah.
He does?
I have Skype.
Can you send me a Skype name that I could Skype him in?
Yeah. I need your email address, sir.
Okay, let me mute this. Hold on. I'm giving my email address, and I don't want all y'all to have it yet. There's too many of you. 1,391. I could never answer that much email. Hey, Bill, they're all waiting. There's 1,391 of them waiting on you.
Well, let's do it.
Well, as soon as they get me the Skype, and then I can Skype you in.
You know something? You know me and music.
Yeah.
That kind of experience that we just experienced there with great theology.
Oh, yeah.
Great music. Well, we'll talk about it. Are we on yet?
Okay, hold on, Bill. All right, I'm gonna hang up. I'll be right back with you. Hold on. Okay, y'all, hold on. I know you're loving this, but we didn't plan ahead. We never do. Hold on, let me put in what I just got from Mr. Stuckey. Hold on. What is his? Hold on. Oh, come on. Oh. Wait. Okay. What was it? Oh, he emailed it. I'm sorry, y'all. I know this is so unprofessional, but here it is. D. Stuckey at Gaither Music. All right, so I go to this. Hold on, we're going to have Bill Gaither on here in just a minute. At Gaither Music. Is that what it was? GaitherMusic.com. All right, let's see what this does. Here he is. All right, let's see if this will get him. Looky there, Bill Gaither in person. Hold on, let me get it where I'm side by side. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. That's what we want. Hey, Bill. Wait, I can't hear you. I don't hear Bill. Are we gonna have to do that on the phone? Oh, this looks good. Look at you. Are you in? Oh, I bet you're. Shoot. Okay, Doug Stuckey. I can't hear him. Oh, I hear you now.
Am I on now?
Yeah, I can hear you, Bill. All right, tell me what you were saying on the phone about. We just watched that video of you, and I personally love every song you picked because you know I love the hymns.
You know, we did 3 hymn projects, Rock of Ages, Amazing Grace, and How Great Thou Art. And Gloria and I, a couple, 3 weeks ago on Sunday, we said, let's watch one of these. And this, you know how it is with stuff that you create. People say to you, listen to your own records.
Right.
Uh, if you're talking about Bill singing solos, the answer is probably no. But if you're talking about the wonderful talent that I can put together and make happen, yes, I listen to those because then I can say, Bill, you're not the greatest singer in the world. You're not the greatest keyboard player in the world, but you can put together voices and make them work. And man, I was just listening to the talent. I mean, Wes doing that verse of great is thy faithfulness. You know, Wes has a particular thing that he does.
Right.
Mark, you have a particular thing. Guy has a particular thing that he does. Reggie is just a jewel. And now we got, now we got Todd, who has another little character in his voice that we haven't had. But you look at all of those, including Charlotte Ritchie, including Lady Love singing "Burdens Are Lifted at Calvary."
Yeah.
Calvary, and you go. For instance, I just feel drained. I've just spent 90 minutes, and I was looking to all the looking at all the comments from China,
Yeah.
from Hungary, from the Netherlands, from Brazil, from from all of from Africa, from all over the world. The scriptures inform us, and at times inspires us and enlightens us. But brother, when you take those truths based on scripture and keep them solid,
right,
in a simple little song like "Whatever happens to you, God will take care of you." I had my earphones on in Florida listening to, and I said, "Who is this?" It was the Oak Ridge Boys singing, "God will take care of you."
Yeah.
Through every day, come what may, God will take care of you. So we got listening to those three different videos, and we'd get into sections like "Burdens Are Lifted" and hear Buddy Mullen talking about cancer from a very human, pretty cool with it. She thought, hey, this is going to be fine. But he says, I wasn't handling it so well.
Yeah.
And the little kid comes up and said, you know what, Daddy, God took care of Grandma when she had cancer. He'll take care of it. But all of those, I got listening to that and I thought, boy, that could be a lot of help to people.
A lot of encouragement.
Yeah, I keep hearing the thing, we're all in the same boat. No, that's not true. We're all in the same storm.
Yeah.
Some of our boats are better than other boats.
Right.
And some of our bigger.
Same
some
water,
of them
different boat. Reminds me of Jimmy Urey's. Yeah. Jimmy Urey just has a record coming out. Same water, different boat. We're all in the same water, but we are in different boats. And you're right.
We are. We are in different boats. And when I drive by homes where I see 8, 9, 10 kids and moms and dads living in a very small space, I say, God help them, because they're not in the same boat that I am in and that you are in. Mm-mm. And I think I just loved the honesty of those hymns. I ran across a song that we wrote back in 1974, and here is the lyric. By the way, this is my lyric. I wrote this song by myself because it's not quite as elevated as Gloria's lyrics. I've noticed all the bad news in the paper. It seems like things are bleaker every day. But for this child of God, it makes no difference, because things are going to get
better either way.
Either way. I've never been more thrilled about tomorrow. Sunshine's always breaking through the clouds of gray. I just feel like something good is just about to happen.
Well, you wrote a good one.
But boy,
you really wrote that by yourself, huh?
I wrote that by myself.
But I just feel like something good is about to happen. I just feel like something good is on its way. He has promised that he'd open all of heaven. We can't play and sing together because of the internet delay. It could be
That
sing
very day.
day, yes. When God's people humble themselves and call on Jesus, and they look to heaven expecting as they pray. I just feel like something good is about to happen. And brother, this could be that very day. You know, that's what I do every day. You don't know this, but every day for the 46 days, I've come live every morning at 10 a.m. and just sing a cappella Church of Christ, checking in on all my people on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And like there's 2,063 of them watching right now. And I check in on them every day. We sing together. They're at home singing. They make videos of themselves singing with me and they post them sometimes. And I get to hear them. It is really becoming a community and I love it. And I think when this thing's over, I'm doing it now Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, but I may go back to doing it every day because I love it so much. And the
Well, you know
people's
what? Yeah, 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 and people need it. And there's two sides of this from a ministering perspective. There's two ways to look at it, and one is from a very, very positive perspective. Now, if we want to talk about David and the Psalms, the only thing the praise and worship folks write many of their songs about are the positive lyrics about, oh God, you're great. We know you're going to do it. And we love those.
right.
How great thou art. We love them. But also, if we're going to be honest with David, we got to go into those Psalms where he says, oh God, where are you?
Right.
I feel like I'm here alone. And I think from a ministry perspective, and the thing that I liked about that last 90 minutes that we just shared there together is we talked about both sides of it. Oh, I hope I wash my hands. I just touched my face. But
Yeah. You know, the
yeah,
truth is you're not around anybody. You and
I'm
Gloria
not.
have been real good about hunkering down because I've checked up on you. You know, I let my Beverly spirit out every now and judge everybody. You know, when Mama died, she didn't go to heaven. She jumped in me, and every now and then she comes out and starts judging everybody. Nah, I miss
Well,
Mama.
somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, somebody's got to judge every. No, I thought the video was good. Now I did notice blatantly notice that one singer was really missing from having a solo, and that
Oh,
probably was this guy.
yeah. You know something, but you were one of the best cheerleaders.
Oh, I do love it. I love
You
the
remember when
cheering.
we first started doing the videos, that one of the biggest comments we got were about two people. One was Glenn Payne, who in the first videos was not singing that much.
Yeah.
They said he is the greatest cheerleader there. And the other one was little Connie Hopper.
Mm.
And they said, who is that sweet lady? She never sings, she never talks. She's just there encouraging everybody else. And I think one of the secrets of the videos, and you can't plan this, you just have to get the right people. I think one of the secrets of the videos was the fact there were no stars.
Right. I was just going to say that everybody supported everybody. You know,
And
I love that. I love that. I miss it. I miss going up there to Indiana and everybody's got their buses lined up in your parking lot, and we're all under the tent eating food that was catered from your friend's cafeteria, I think.
Jonathan
Yeah.
Bird's cafeteria.
Yeah.
And
And
remember,
it was just those were man, and everybody was there. You know, those were the days. Wouldn't you love just for one day to teleport back to the early 90s when we did that, and Vestal, Howard, all of them were there Jake and all of them.
George came through because we had cameras following everything we did, and we couldn't use everything, of course. But George came by, George Hunt's, and there was a camera, and his plate was full of fried chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans, and slaw. And he said, the camera came on. He said, "This is for me and 2 or 3 other people." He was fast.
Oh, he was. And that's where go ahead.
When he came up, the last time he sang with us, we were in Cleveland at the arena, and I said, "Here is a voice I bet you thought you'd never hear again." And he was in the back of the arena, and he went, "This old house once," this old
house once knew my children.
Only it was clear down the basement. And when he did that, the crowd went nuts. Ooh, this old house once knew my wife. Pretty soon the camera came on him. Remember, in the round, there were 3 steps on the first level. And of course, he had just got out of the hospital. So he got up on the first 3 steps, and I was sitting there in my chair, and there were 2 more to go. He made the first 3 steps. He looked over at me and he said, "Just 2 more to go."
He was funny. Well, I remember one time, one of the first videos when we were all in the horseshoe, in a semicircle in your studio. I was on one side of the semicircle, and JD and George were on the other. And I saw JD lean up and whisper something in George's ear, and George laughed. I thought he was going to cough up a lung. And I decided that day I was going to get to know JD Sumner, because the only thing he did was make people laugh all the time. And what a great 5 years. So I thank you for that, because I got to, hang with him the last 5 years of his life.
You remember what he said to the kid that came? He was getting off of a plane, and the kid said to him, "Sir, would you give me $20? And JD said, "What are you going to do with it, son?" He said, "I'm going to give it to Jesus." And JD said, "How old are you anyway?" And the kid said, 23. JD said, "Well, you know what? I'm 75. I'll see Jesus before you will. So let me just give it to him. I'll make sure you get the credit for it."
I'll just keep it and give it myself. Oh, well, Mary Lynn Walton says she loved George Yonts. Pat Henderson Burden says, "I remember that of George." What is the story behind, Brody Mundruff wants to ask you, Bill, what is the story behind "I believe, help thou my unbelief"? Is there a story behind that one?
There's not a specific story. People say, "Where do you get ideas for songs?" And there are several sources. I can remember B.R. Lakin preaching on "It Is Finished." And he's very poetic. You grew up with
yes.
Dr. Lakin.
Loved
he knew how to paint that picture. And I told Gloria, I said, "We got to write that." She said, "Okay." So we wrote about the historical death of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that makes that song special is when Gloria said, "Yet in my heart,
yes,
the battle was still raging.
Yeah.
Not all prisoners of war had come home. These were battlefields of my own making." I love this line. I didn't know the war had been won. How many people have you seen with their clubs and their guns? They're still fighting the war. Then I heard that the King of the ages had fought all the battles for me. Victory was mine for the claim. Now praise his name, mine for me. So to answer a question, they come from sermons and they come from stories. Larry and I wrote that little song with Gloria about the businessman overturning a little girl's apple stand in the airport, and he was late for his plane, so he kept running, looked back, and then he discovered the little girl was blind, picking up his apples. He missed his plane and came back and helped her pick up her apples. And when he got done, she looked at him and said, "Excuse me, are you Jesus? Is that why you were so good?" You hear stuff like that, you say, I got to write that. So they come from stories.
Yeah.
They also come from scripture. And this is totally scripture. I believe, help thou my unbelief.
Yes.
And if we're honest with our walk with Jesus, we've got to admit there are times in our life where we say, in fact, this is an interesting time where we have to look at facts, scientific facts by the specialists, and even the specialists don't agree. Mm-hmm. But we got to look, we got to decipher that out. And then over here are is this thing called faith. And Hebrews says that faith is the King James Version is the evidence. Give me the
faith
scripture.
Is the evidence of things hoped for. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, I think is the way it goes. Hebrews 11:1, I believe that is.
Okay, so the tension is between, the science says I better not do this. The faith side says we have nothing to fear but fear itself. Now that's not scripture. That's FDR.
That's
okay,
John F. Kennedy, wasn't it?
No, FDR.
Oh, FDR. That's right.
in the middle of the
that's right
of the recession.
That's right.
So it's always a balance, and so we kept looking at that, and probably we were going through a time where we were saying, as David would say, help thou my unbelief. I walk into the unknown, trusting all the while. I long so much to feel the warmth that others seem to know, but should I never feel is feeling important. I was just up there listening to that 90 minutes of hymn of great is thy faithful, great morning by morning. We changed keys, morning by morning. I went, yes, hallelujah, glory. That's called feeling. And I love feeling, but I'm a human being. And there are times where I say, I ain't feeling a whole lot right now. But should I never feel a thing,
I claim him.
Okay,
on a lighter note, I want to. Heather S. mentioned this that JD hated organs. Do you have any idea why JD hated the organs so much?
There are sounds.
You think he seriously hated it?
I don't think so. You know what? I never hated a steel guitar.
I was just going to mention that. I remembered you don't like steel guitar.
Well, I didn't, but I have learned. It's like coffee. Coffee is an acquired taste. Some people hate accordions.
Right.
I love it. I love it when the accordion goes bop 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 or bop bop down bop 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 bop. That's I just love that accordion sound. Some people just hate it. A lot of it depends what you grew up with. Evidently, to him, organ meant sad. But man, the black gospel organ sound is anything but sad. Yeah. It's sassy. And they go pew, and they do that B3 sound. I bet you he kind of got to like organs, but it was funny that day.
It was so funny.
In this very room that I'm sitting in, I'm here with ghosts. They're all around me. Uh-huh. What are the questions? Give me another question.
All right. Let's see what we got. Anybody got a question for Bill? Organs remind me of funeral homes, Nancy Leverett says. Bagpipes are annoying, Kevin says. Do you like bagpipes?
I kind of like it.
You do? Looky here, Bill.
What?
Love from India. Can you believe people are watching? Have you ever been to India?
I've never been to India, but we have probably one of our, we have over 1 million and 600,000 subscribers now to the Gaither music, and it's growing every
On
day.
YouTube, I know it. I wish you'd send a few over to me.
Yeah, and a lot of, and in all fairness, a lot of those are from India. I'm
Isn't
trying to
that
tip my
great?
hat the right way. So
So you look cool.
yeah,
You need to
there we
have
go.
Adam help you with your hat. Doesn't he wear it kind of cockeyed, like very
Yeah,
cool
no,
looking?
no, no, no. That's Ben Isaacs. Ben Isaacs wears the coolest hats.
He does. So what are you going
Yeah.
to do the rest of the day?
Well, I'm going to go home and eat my lunch, which is cottage cheese and pineapple. I love cottage cheese and pineapple for lunch. And I am going to try to get my 10,000 steps in. And this morning I came right into the studio to prepare for this morning thing. So I'm a little bit behind. I've only got about 1,700 steps, but I got to get 10,000 before the
Oh,
day's
here's
over.
a good
So,
question before we go.
okay.
Beverly Mills Lowry. Can you believe she got my mother's name, Beverly Lowry? Are we in the last days? Come on, Bill.
You know something? When I was a kid, I came home to my dad one day. He was using a rototiller to weed his garden. Okay. And it didn't have a motor on it. It was I mean, it was manually. He was pushing it to weed his garden. That's the way they used to do it in the old days. And we had an evangelist who would come through town, and I was just a little kid, 7 or 8 years old, and I said, "Daddy, I forget what war it was." I said, "This evangelist thinks this is going to be Armageddon, and it's going to be over." My dad was very, very kind. Uh, and I said, "What do you think, Dad?" And he was hoeing his yard. And he said, "Well, they've been saying that for a long time." And he didn't put it down. He didn't boo-hoo it or anything. He just kept hoeing with his rototiller. And he said, "And one of these days, they'll be right. Ho, ho, ho." But I'm not sure they know much more than we do as to when is the time, because when they asked Jesus, even Jesus said he did not know the time. Ho, ho, ho. But now here is the lesson. But in the meantime, I've got to keep the weeds out of this garden. Ho, ho,
Yeah.
ho.
I love that story.
I think we're called to keep the weeds out of the garden.
Until he
The Lord,
comes.
the Lord Himself, He's no man knows the day or the hour.
That's
And
right.
there have been so many formulas, and many of them are based on biblical scriptures, and interpretations of scriptures. But I tell you what I'm going to do, whether this is the end or not. I'm going to do a song that my son and Jeff Stilby wrote. I'm going to love like I'm leaving, give more than I'm receiving. I'm going to laugh until it takes my breath away. I'm going to say what needs saying. I'm going to pray what needs praying. I'm going to love like I'm leaving here today.
Yes.
That's what I'm going to do. It could be today. It could be tomorrow. No man knows. But let's love like we're leaving here. Is that? Oh, that's so good. I wish I'd have recorded that.
Isn't that great? That is great.
And speaking of that, that's the vocal band's new single. We have recorded.
Okay. I know. I thought,
Is,
what kind of, that was a little
is that
84-year-old moment there. Now you are 84, right?
the last time I checked?
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got a joke you
Yeah.
can leave us with?
Okay. Let me think. Let me think. you know, One of the worst things that happens when you get on a talk show is the host to say, "Tell us about some of the funny things that happen on the
I
program."
know.
And every time your mind goes blank,
I know.
doesn't it?
Same with me. Well, there is that time that Russ Taft got stuck in the bay of the bus.
Yeah,
That was pretty funny.
yeah. And we were watching, or you guys were watching some action movie, and the orchestra was so loud, and he was up there beating on
He
the
was
on the
under. He
ceiling.
was in the bay. Now the bay is the bottom part of the bus where you put your luggage. He evidently had leaned in too far. Someone slammed the door, and he
Yeah.
was stuck inside, banging on the roof of the bay, hoping we would hear it, right? But the
Yeah.
movie was so loud, nobody heard it. And
Yeah.
then what happened? Didn't he have to call? Did he call somebody?
I don't know how he got out of there. Of course, you know what the baggage compartment looks like because you slept down there for two years, right?
Oh Lord. Well,
You know, bus life. People say, do you miss the road right now? You know what? I'm loving being. In fact, you were the guy who introduced me to the computer. Now, I still don't know how to turn one on, but I found myself this morning in that 90 minutes saying, thank God for the internet. I mean, was that a wonderful way? I mean, people were saying this feels like church, and of
yeah.
course that'll be going on all day on our, on the, on our Gaither Music channel. Are you looking at another question there,
Well, I'm
Mark?
searching them.
Yeah.
Someone said, "Don't spill your tea." Oh, Bill Morris and Renee Morris, they're watching this. Hey, Bill and Renee. Well,
Mhm.
y'all, I think it's phenomenal. What? Oh, wait, I think he's. Oh, and David, didn't David do good?
You know what? Uh, I have said. Now you look at it. I have said I have sung with the best male singers in our field because I grew up admiring great voices.
Right,
R.W. Blackwood, Jake Hess,
right.
those Smitty Gatlin. Hey, did you see Gary's face
Oh, at the
there? Too?
very end,
Yeah.
yeah, he looked
Was it?
great. Of course, that was
Hey,
years
hey.
ago, wasn't it?
Well, we did that back in I think 2003, uh, 3 or 4. But it looks like it was done yesterday, with the exception
Yeah,
of
it
the
does.
age. You looked a lot younger then.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, I looked a lot younger. Was Janet's prayer beautiful?
Oh, yeah. She's another. I've often said, when I said on the comments, I said Wes Hampton's probably one of the most perfect humans I know. And Janet is another one. There are some
Yeah.
people that I literally, I mean, if someone said, "What is a sin that easily besets Bill Gaither?" I could tell you one, because I know
Oh
Bill
yeah.
Gaither. But
Yeah.
Wes
Yeah.
Hampton, I'm
He had no sin.
sure. I mean, he is like, I'm sure something besets him. But he and Janet Pascal, and there's a few more that I've met on my journey that I
Yeah.
think, well, Gloria's pretty much one, except no,
But
she'll argue with you. But Janet, I mean,
yeah.
and
Hey, speaking of the joke, I just thought
okay,
I just thought about it when you said Gloria. The lady was caught stealing peaches in a store, and so she came before the judge, and the judge asked, how many did this lady steal? Said she stole 10 peaches. Said, then I'm gonna sentence you to 10 weeks in prison for each peach you stole. She started to walk out, and the husband was sitting in the audience and said, "Hey, judge, she also stole a can of peas."
there's a lot more peas than there were peaches, huh?
Yeah. So when you talk about the sins of Gloria and me, if you would say I was that, Gloria would say, the reason I thought of this, Gloria would say, "Wait a second, Judge," and I would say the same thing with Gloria. But I told her the other day, and I mean this: the sociologist in college, in marriage and family course, gave us this advice. He said, "In picking a mate, choose somebody you want to be your best friend."
Yeah.
I have no better friend than that sweet lady. And the two of us have done our ministry together. And I often say, Mark Lowry says, "Bill, you knew a meal ticket when you saw it." That was not true. The lyric thing was just a bonus threw
Yeah.
in after I fell in love with her because of her beautiful mind and her love for the Lord. Plus, that is the prettiest 77-year-old grandmother I've ever
She
seen in
sure
my life.
is. Well, Joshua
Yeah.
Evans wants to know, what is your favorite routine that you two did? Or Bill and Debbie Garrison, or what is Bill's favorite Mark moment? I think I'm going to keep on singing. May
That
have
was
been
awfully good.
my favorite
Yeah, that was all
moment
that.
that we did together, as far as the
You know
funny
what?
stuff.
Yeah. You know what? We're running some of that because we think a lot of people never seen it, before, and especially when they say, when I go, I know people,
He knows
they're
people.
frightened about, about the future of our country. That's your line.
I go,
They're really scared.
oh, he's
They're
really
really scared,
scared. Yeah.
and they ask me,
Bill. Bill.
and they ask me,
Bill.
and the third time.
I
The whole
squealed.
crowd went, they asked me, remember the whole crowd went, "Ah!"
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you'd say, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. People say, how did those things happen? It just gradually, started. Same thing with mainline, Jesus on the mainline. We just started singing it. And when I do harmony, I am so involved in it. And to hear yourself sing bass, you've got to get your Jesus on the main line. You got to hear, and so it just it just happens.
And
It
you know
just happens.
what?
By the way,
The camera was the video camera's right here, and I just glanced over at you the first night. It started with just a glance, and I'm kind of
yeah,
cocking my head, looking at you like, "What?" Because they're all into yourself, and I'd look at the guys, and I'd come back and look at you, and it started getting laughter. And the first night we did it, you opened your eyes, and then Guy said, "No, no, no, Bill, just keep your eyes shut, and let's see what happens." Remember?
yeah,
And it was at
yeah,
Family Fest.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey. By the way, we postponed our our thing that we were going to do in Tulsa with the vocal man. Boy, I looked at all those ex singers. I looked at Russ singing "Amazing Grace."
Mhm.
Man, when he sings "Amazing Grace" that saved a wretch like me, you believe him.
Oh yeah.
You just believe him. I talked to him. I talked to him the other day. I I looked at all those ex guys and the people who have died and gone on. Stephen Hill, what a sweet,
Oh,
sweet
I
man.
know.
Yeah,
That was stunning. And Anthony, it's when the young ones. Anthony was just 42. Anthony Berger. Think about that.
42.
That's young.
Yeah. Remember the night we were in Charlotte, and he had that little smoke thing that but in Charlotte, it caught on fire. And Guy had to take his coat off to put the fire out.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, we got it on tape.
That is
We got
we
everything.
got everything on tape. Do you have it on tape the night that it was time for David to sing and he somehow missed his entrance and Anthony plays the entire song like it was his solo?
Back in the homecoming days, there'd be an hour and 15 minutes of program before the vocal band would come on.
Right.
So Guy and David were always out in the bus, and it's Fargo, South Dakota. And so they were out there, and my dad would always come out and say, "Hey, you guys, you better get ready." But, "Oh, yeah, we're fine. We got plenty of time. We got plenty." And so they're into a movie and got engrossed in the movie, and it was time for David to do "In the Beginning." And he always came on about 2 acts before the vocal band came on and just did a solo. Were you there?
I'm sure I
Were you there?
was, or maybe
Yeah,
I think I was, but oh yeah, yeah, Anthony was alive. Yes, I was there.
yeah. Okay. So they told me. Now you talk about my sin, my sin. They told me, they said, Dave's not here. Now you remember the opening of that was like WWF. We'd pull the lights down,
Yeah.
and then this synthesizer would go. All the
Like
it was
Elvis is
very
coming in the room.
yeah and so they said he's not here. I said push play. He's not here. I said push play, because to be honest with you, this saved and sanctified saint was a little bit ticked off.
Yeah.
push play. So it started, and then the spotlight always came down in the center. By that time, he'd be up in the center and say, I was on a plane the other night, and the
Wishing I could get
spotlight came
off.
up in the center, and he wasn't there. And so it was just a track. And pretty soon, Anthony, who was always at the piano, he was always sitting on go,
Yeah.
started playing the melody.
Yeah.
He started playing it, and the spotlight went over to the piano. And then Anthony started playing better and better, and pretty soon he got dramatic, and he was throwing his. And when he got to the end, he threw his arms up, and the crowd came up in a standing ovation.
Yeah.
By that time, David's in the back of the building going.
He knew he
Okay,
was in trouble.
So let me confess to your folks. Being ready is an important thing. I'm a coach. Okay, I just want you to be ready.
Yeah.
To do what.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, I
Okay,
remember
so
one
we're
time
gonna-
I was late and Jay Kess was singing the baritone, and I come running up on the stage like I was going to take over, and you hollered at me to go sit down, and I went and sat down.
So at any rate, I am saved, but there's sometimes my sanctification was in
Well, you're the
question. Okay,
coach. Let me tell you, there are a lot of times when you should have been hollering that you weren't.
okay. So David, then finally he's ready when the vocal man comes up, and there's not a sweet, sweet spirit in my soul. Where are you? So we sing through our thing. You and I do our humor, and we have fun and everything, and it isn't until the last song where David was featured on. So he just sang in harmony, and we get the last song, and man, he just blew it out, standing ovation. So he leaves. We get on a plane that night to go back to Nashville. You're on the plane,
Yeah.
and I get on there. And I'm still not acting like a child of God. I'm leaning over the side. I just want to go to sleep. I don't want to discuss why he was there.
Right.
So finally we get in Nashville, 2:30 in the morning at Signature Flight, and I'm there by the popcorn machine. And he comes up and he says, "Bill, I'm sorry about that." And I said, "I am too." Now, it's interesting, at intermission, Anthony's table was jammed with people wanting to buy that.
Yeah, really.
David had very few customers. So he says, "I'm sorry." And I said, "I'm sorry too, David." He said, "And I was really sorry when I went to my record table." Hey, we're being too honest to your folks here. So
yeah.
but
there's only 1,583 watching, so don't worry about it. They won't tell anybody. Y'all keep all this secrets. It's just family talk.
don't tell me. Don't tell it. Tell
Bill,
anybody.
I love that you did this today. Thank you for doing this. I know you don't want to overexpose yourself at 84. And
Okay, are we out of time?
no, you want to tell some more stories?
I'm a little hungry.
Oh, you are? I am too. Well, we'll do it again sometime. And I hope this thing ends soon so I can see you again. I miss seeing you.
Well, I miss seeing you too, and I love, because I've been right there at that place, and I've seen your pool, and I've seen your little house back there.
Yeah. And see, I have a green screen, Bill, so you don't have to see my unmade bed. See?
That's amazing, and I can remember the night being around your piano.
Oh yeah,
because you know me, I was so lost in that 90 minutes upstairs.
Yep.
But when we're around your piano with Brett Jones,
Brett
is that
Jones.
his name? Brett Jones, what a godly
My
man!
pastor.
I mean, he started singing, "I see the cleansing stream of blood, it flows from Calvary, it reaches," what's it?
That's one I don't know.
Da, 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 da. And I said, "Brett," and I had heard the song, I'd forgotten. Janet sang it. It comes out of the Pentecostal tradition.
Huh.
But it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank God Thank God for this day. Thank God for the internet.
Yeah. And
Mark,
everybody who
thank
missed that taping, listen, I mean, that premiere this morning, and it really
yeah,
isn't a premiere. It was what Bill and Gloria sit down and watch 3 videos. And then Bill took from the 4 hours, 90
90
minutes
minutes of the very
of the
best.
songs that would really help you if you're having a tough time in this COVID thing. But it'll
Yeah.
encourage you. They're old, the old hymns like we do every morning at 10 a.m. when we get together and we sing them a cappella. But we do have a good time. If I just learned to play the piano like Bill, we could have had a little piano in the morning. But all
You know
right.
what Ben Spear told me about my piano playing, don't you?
Yeah.
We were with a bunch. I've never claimed to be a great piano player, and I'll close it with this story.
Okay.
I never claimed to be a great piano player, but anytime I got with the musicians, I would play so they could do charts and do it. And I would do, I just feel like something good is about to happen. I just feel like something good is on its way. He promised that he'd open all of heaven. And so they could write down the chords.
Right.
And I do that every time. But one time when I got done, Ben said to me, he said, Bill, I have never heard anybody play the piano as long as you have played the piano and improved as little as you have improved. Everybody laughed. Everybody laughed in the room because the musicians knew what he was saying.
Right.
Okay, let's fast forward. He got Alzheimer's. Gene McDonough and I went out to see him several times when he was, his mind was slipping. And so we went in about 2 months before he died, and his wife said, Ben, Gene and Bill are here. His hair had grown long, and he was eating a little bit of spaghetti with marinara on it. And Ben was always a slow eater, and he was doing it real slowly, just one little noodle at a time, just eating his spaghetti. And he said, Bill and Gene are here. And he looked up and went, that sweet Mary Tom, Ben Spear smile. That's all I did. Didn't say anything. Just kept eating, kept eating. So we kept trying to get him to talk, and he wouldn't talk. We'd tell stories, and he'd go, just one noodle, one, just he kept eating, kept eating. Finally, I thought, if I play an old dad Spear, I think that'll bring him out of this. So I went, now I know that he is mine, and I'm his forever. Great old song.
Yeah.
He's leading me all along the way. And he'll take the sting of death, sting away. And I looked at Ben and I said, now see, he hasn't said a word for 35, 40 minutes. I looked at Ben and said, would you hire me now, Ben? And he went, no. That's all he said.
The only thing you said all day.
All he said was, no.
No.
I love you, Mark Lowry.
I love you, Bill Gaither. Now, listen, people are wanting to know where they can see the video. Go on YouTube to Gaither Music TV, and the video will be there. We all watched it this morning. You can get, in fact, you can read all the comments as they happen, so you can see that. Please subscribe to Gaither Music TV and subscribe to this channel if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're watching on Facebook, share it, share it, share it, share it. All right, Bill, love you.
Hey, the Gaither Music YouTube, but they also, if they're on Gaither Music Facebook, I think it'll be on the Gaither Music face. I think it's on both. So
good.
check both.
So you can watch it either place. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye-bye.
Love you too.
Well, y'all, wasn't that fun to have Bill Gaither sitting here with us? It looks like he was right in the same living room, but he was clear across the world. I love the internet. I love that you can be in your home, I can be here, and yet we're communicating with each other and encouraging each other. Because I tell you what, it encourages me that you watch. It gives me something to do. I'm hunkering down too. And yesterday, my day off away from you guys, I was so bored. So I don't know. I might go back to every day. Just be around here. I will be tomorrow sometime. I'll be going live probably around 10. And then Sunday, I don't know when I will, but I will check in on y'all sometime Sunday. I love you all. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.